You might have noticed a trend with people from the UK moving to Asia, Southeast Asia. And you might be wondering, why is that? What is the actual reason why so many people who may be young people with degrees or maybe older people who are looking to retire, why are they moving away from Europe and coming to Asia? What is the reason behind that? So I can talk for myself. I'm a 25-year-old lad, I've got a law degree, and I've spent the last 3 years of my life living in Asia. And you know how the brain drain is talked about? People with qualifications, degrees, who are earning good money, they leave their home country and they go to live somewhere else. Well, why is that focused so much on Asia? I just want to share my point of view as to why Asia, in particular, piques the interest of so many Brits. I'm just going to talk for Brits. So my country, the United Kingdom, is having a bit of a tough time at the moment. And for the last 20, 30 years, it has been on a slow decline. And I don't want to go on a big, I hate the UK rant, because every time I go back to the UK, it is a wonderful experience. And I do love certain aspects of where I'm from, but I can't see myself living there for a very, very long time. Now, I spent the last 2.5 years of my life living in Thailand, and I went there when I didn't have a great deal. You know, I've always been an entrepreneur. Sometimes my luck is up and sometimes my luck is down. Sometimes I've got a heavy wallet and sometimes I've got a slim wallet. And when I went to Thailand 2.5 years ago, I was in a bit of a predicament. I'd made some bad choices. I didn't really have that much going on. And so I went there to access the lower cost of living and also just to be away from the depressing nature of the UK. Look at that Rolls Royce. Nice. So I lived in Thailand for 2.5 years and I built up some cash, and I started a business with my girlfriend that was very successful. We did a lot there. And now I find myself in Singapore, which is great because Singapore is one of the best countries in the world, in my opinion. But back to the point of the video. Why do so many Brits come to Southeast Asia? Well, if we were talking about 100 years ago, 150, even 200 years ago, the place to be to make money would have been the UK, or 100 years ago, the States, even 50 years ago, the States. Whereas now, it seems like the West has stagnated. Even if you're on some massive salary, and I'm going to talk corporate law, right, because I know about them. A lot of people who I went to law school with, they're on huge salaries, £200,000 and up, but yet they're paying 45% plus tax to live in an unsafe, depressing, shit environment. Now, no one wants to do that, really. If you have the option not to do that, then you just won't do it. When I lived in Thailand, I found that although it was difficult, this is what a lot of people won't tell you, living in Thailand is actually quite difficult if you want to be earning money. It's very easy for an older gentleman to go there and retire, and do whatever he wants to do there, but for a young person who's looking to make money, unless you're becoming an English teacher in Thailand, it's actually quite a difficult place. But there are a lot of schemes, and recently they have that new visa that makes it a little bit easier than it was. Now, the tax rate in Thailand, it's not low, but it's certainly not 45% plus national insurance. And so if you are earning money in Thailand, then the amount of money that you're keeping in your pocket is a lot more than it would be in the UK. And yes, you're probably not going to be earning a humongous salary, but if you're an entrepreneur or an entrepreneurial type, then you can do fairly well there. Now, Singapore is very different to Thailand, right? Top talent does not move to Thailand as a rule. Top talent moves to places like Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai. And that is because in a place like this, not only is the quality of life so high, and the salary also very high, but the taxation is low, it's extremely safe, and to be honest with you, it's just a beautiful place. Now, the equation to many is this. Would you want to live in London where you have to fear walking the streets? You're going to be paying the government nearly half of your salary for the privilege of living there. And we're not even talking about things like council tax and all the other bits and pieces that come at you. Just your income tax alone is enough to make your eyes water. The tax rate in Singapore is 19%, around there. Can go up to about 23%. But you're paying that to live in what is basically a bubble controlled by the government, and every little minute detail is thought out, looked after, right down to every little crossed T and dotted I. When I was a kid, I grew up here, and I was fortunate enough to go to a local school where I was one of about 3 Westerners. Now, when I see my old school friends and I talk to them about what I'm doing here, they go, why would you choose Singapore? Why wouldn't you want to live in the UK? Why wouldn't you want to live in the States? And the number one thing that comes to my mind is safety. Safety, safety, safety. I don't want to fear about having my home broken into. I don't want to fear about being stabbed in the street. I don't want to fear about my girlfriend being unsafe to walk through the streets at night. And the West can't offer that. Western Europe, the United States, Canada can't offer that. And that's sad. I don't know if it's right to say 50 years ago it could, because I don't know, I wasn't alive. But I'll tell you what, it's true now. And it's sad that that's true now. And it's not just about the safety. It's not just about the safety aspect. There's a lot more to it than that. There's much more to it than that. In the UK, what you're getting up to on a daily basis is a cycle of the same over and over and over again. You're getting up, you're going to work, you're going to the pub. On a Friday, you might get some nefarious things in. Saturday, the same. Sunday, you feel like crap. Get up on the Monday, and you do it again. In the summertime, you might have a little bit of sunshine. But in the winter, you've got 8 months of pissing grey skies, freezing cold conditions, and just general misery. Whereas if you're somewhere like Singapore, or even like Thailand, or even Malaysia, what you're getting up to is varied. You're encouraged to get out and about. You're encouraged to be healthy. And don't even get me started on the humongous drug problem that exists in Europe and the USA and Canada. We've all seen it. We've all seen how substances are ruining millions of lives across this part of the world, the West. And no one seems to be doing anything about it. Singapore's drug laws, if you're caught as a Singaporean citizen or a permanent resident with substances in your body, you are forced to go to rehab for 6 months. And when I say rehab, you're going to jail. You're going to a rehab in the jail for 6 months to get that out of you. They have strict laws here, and the strict laws work. And some people go, it's barbaric, the death sentence is barbaric. Well, there's a reason why you're not walking down the streets and seeing people hungover in some Fentley. I spent a long time in the UK, through university and afterwards. And I'll tell you what, the difference in what young people are doing in a place like Singapore compared to what young people are doing in the United Kingdom is day and night. You can't compare the lifestyles because they are just so different. And I guess that Singapore is a unique example. And so I don't want to just talk about Singapore. We can talk about Thailand. And Thailand, to be honest with you, it does have its problems in terms of narcotic use and things like that. But it's still nowhere near on the scale of the UK, where it's beyond normalised. It just makes me scratch my head and go, where did this happen? When did this happen? And how did society let this happen? Oh, I'm no saint. I'm no saint. I'm not going, oh, I've never seen no substances. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying as a place to live, you don't want to be surrounded by all that crap. You don't want to have that in your brain. Oh, am I going to get robbed by some drug addict that wants to fund his next hit? I also find that the opportunities that exist in the UK today are extremely limited. For the top 5%, there is a possibility to do great things. There really is. If you go into big law or big finance, big tech, any one of those, you will be okay. You will be fine. But what about the other 95%? Where's the opportunity for them? Not everyone is a lawyer. Not everyone is a doctor. Not everyone is a banker, a tech whiz, whatever. And so rather than having a society like the UK where literally 95% of people would think 50 grand a year is an absurd salary, when 50 grand a year barely pays the bills, I feel like the drive is off. I feel like the ambition is off. I feel like the whole formula is wrong. And so as I've spent the last 3 years of my life in Asia, I feel like here there is more opportunity. I feel like the equation adds up. I feel like you can see, oh, that's where the money goes. Rather than in the UK, back to the tax, paying your 45% plus national insurance tax. Where does it go? Because it's not going on the fucking roads, it's not going on in hospitals, it's not going on things like that. Where's it going? And it's too easy to say, oh, it's going to those dossers, it's going on welfare, it's going on this, it's going on that and the other. Okay, maybe it is. but I don't have the stats in front of me, so I'm not going to lament it like that. I'm not going to be like, ooh, people on benefits are taking all the money. Ooh, the refugees are taking all the money. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, living here does not feel like the contributions that you make, even on a baseline level, through paying tax on the food that you eat, the GST, which is their VAT in Singapore. You can see where the money goes. Even in Thailand, which some people consider to be a third world country, the roads are better than Britain's. You know, it costs £150 to get a train from London to Manchester. £150 to get a train from the largest city in the UK to the third largest city in the UK. £150. You can get a train from Chiang Mai, Thailand to Bangkok, Thailand, a distance of 12 hours drive, or a 14-hour train, for about £5. Tell me where the money goes, because I can't see it. I literally cannot see with my eyes where the money goes. It's being siphoned off somewhere, and I can't work out where it's being siphoned off to. So when I walk through the streets of a Southeast Asian country, I don't have that problem. I don't go, where's the money going? Because I can see where the money's going. I can see the streets are clean. I can see that the buildings around me are kept well. I can see where the money goes. But I can't see that in the UK. I can't see where it goes. And the people of the UK are downtrodden, depressed, and close to giving up. They're close to breaking point. And you might go, Tom, that's not true. Tom, that's absolute crap. You're lying. You're just making it seem like everything's terrible. Go out onto the high street of the UK and you look at the people around you. Do they look happy? Do they look like they're thriving? Do they look like they're doing well? No, they look barely alive. But you walk through the streets of Singapore and you will see fine dressed people doing big things, and every single person you talk to is trying to do something with their life. Ask them what their goals are. They can tell you. Ask someone in the UK what their goals are. I don't know. And that might not be the people in the UK's fault. Maybe it is the structure that they are being raised in, that they are surrounded by, that is killing all ambition. And don't even get me started on tall poppy syndrome. Anyone that has big dreams and ambition in the UK is instantly told, don't be stupid, that will never work, you'll never do that, that will never work. Whereas in a country like Singapore, if you're like, I'm gonna start this business, then you can talk to 10 different people who are like, wow, that's cool, let me see how I can help you. Even the government will be like, oh, that's a great idea. How can we get involved? Like, I don't mean for this to be some sort of rant where I'm going, Singapore good, England bad, 'cause it's very easy for me to strut through the streets of Singapore, a country that I know and I love, and go, England bad, Singapore good. But I can't see a single bit of why someone would want to stay in that environment. I can't see it. Family, friends, all right, I get it. But there's a lot to go and see in this world. There's a lot to go and do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of life to live. God bless, guys. Take care. That's my 10 pence. Bye.